How can digital technology contribute to fostering inclusion in primary education? AGE states that inclusion is concerned with supporting the individual learning needs of all children, not just those who are characterised as having special educational needs. However, SEND forms a large portion of the need for inclusion in many schools, so this is the area that we'll be focused on in this video. The Department for Education states in the SEND Code of Practice that a child has special educational needs if they have a learning difficulty or disability which calls for special educational provision to be made for him or her. Law describes how the Warnock Report noted that whatever the root cause of a child's difficulty in school, unless support is forthcoming that helps the child, then they would fall behind in their education. This means it is not enough to correctly diagnose a child with SEND, and that provision to include them in the learning must be made for them to make progress. The Department for Education states that a high-quality computing education equips pupils to use computational thinking and creativity to understand and change the world. This means that the teaching of computing needs to be inclusive, and the technology used must contribute to fostering inclusion for those with SEND. Rahamin states that information and communication technology, also known as assistive or enabling technology, has been used to support learners with special educational needs in ordinary mainstream schools for many years. Examples of assistive or enabling technologies include touchscreens, large trackballs instead of a mouse, placing computers on adjustable trolleys so they can be lowered for wheelchair users, and talking word processors. More specifically, computing has deep links with mathematics, science, and design and technology. This demonstrates the potential for cross-curricular learning that computing can provide. English is another subject where ICT can help children with SEND. Some pupils find it difficult to record their work in written form, and teachers must consider alternative methods for them. Writing frames can scaffold children's learning by organising their thoughts and allow them to concentrate on their thoughts in sections. ICT programs such as Clicker 5 are often used to great effect for this purpose. AGE believes that ICT is a vital tool for ensuring that inclusion actually happens, and Glazard believes that the computer can be a very powerful learning resource for all children. However, sometimes children with SEND can develop a preference for a particular piece of software, and this can become a barrier to learning. This idea is supported by Adams and Brindley, who believe that a tool for inclusion can also be a tool for separation. Florian, citing Means, reminds us that computing tools and devices do not have value in themselves, but their value lies in the educational activity that utilizes them effectively. The teacher must plan this activity carefully. Beauchamp states that a vital part of planning and preparing for lessons is to consider how ICT can contribute to the inclusion of all pupils, but particularly those with SEND. Rahamin makes the important point that ICT supports pupils with SEN in the mainstream classroom by allowing them to achieve things that would be very difficult in any other way. By using a computer, children are able to improve the presentation of their work, which will increase their self-esteem when the standard of their finished product is similar to many others in the classroom. The whole area of using ICT to help with learning difficulties is complex, but could perhaps be summed up as trying to encourage what Abbott calls e-inclusion, which aims to use digital technologies to minimize the problems that people with learning difficulties experience. The widespread introduction of ICT in schools has made a major impact on the learning patterns of people with SEND because teachers can now offer new opportunities by exploiting the potential of ICT to enhance individual learning experiences. Research by Bechter indicates that there is increasing but limited evidence that suggests that standards improve in schools that use ICT. Providing access to technology in schools is not the same as making sure that every learner has access to the technology, because adaptations may be required in order to accommodate different learners. If the new technologies are truly to become a tool for inclusion, it is important for all teachers to understand the potential of ICT for pupils with special educational needs.